All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the collective. Hold on, I'm doing a mic test. Oh, they're good. We've not done a live stream in like 3 weeks, a long time. And I think the last two live streams are pretty lackluster. I mean, we did take one good trade, I think, on live the last time we streamed. So, I mean, hopefully we can get a bit more of that live stream luck. Maybe we could call it FOMC. Hope you guys didn't trade this morning. If you were to trade, I hope you traded the overnight session. The overnight session was beautiful. Now, if you follow the NASDAQ, thank you. I mean, you probably do if you're watching this. Then you know how we're approaching all-time highs again. And that's kind of swaying into my higher time frame bias here on NQ. And in the overnight session, we had a really great move from the Asia opening here. You can see Asia's lows marked up. We expanded a good 100 and some points where we put London's high in. Now we're back down to that opening price in Asia session. We took it. But what we're going to break down before the second release here of the FOMC is the slight difference in biases between ES and NQ here. I mean YM as well. So ES and NQ, we both took this high here, right here, from Tuesday last week, 2 weeks ago. We both took this high. ES taking it, it didn't take it by as much as NQ, but relative to all-time highs, ES has taken all-time highs. NQ has not taken all-time highs.
Yeah, and I mean, considering we got like this morning, we got a strength switch with YM, which was the weaker asset, and ended up putting in a higher high.
Hold on, switching to YM. There.
YM put in a higher high today. It took at 9 o'clock. It took the 1 a.m. high.
Okay.
And ES and NQ did not do that. So we've had a strength switch at the highs, and we've a bunch of failure swings at the lows. Like ES put relative equal lows, and YM has equal lows, and then a relative equal low, I guess, just below that.
Oh, very internal. You're talking very internal. Yes.
Like on the hourly.
Okay. Yes, the equal is in there. Now,
so I would expect after the second release to see a drop lower, and then from there, my bias is neutral until we see the reaction around that area, because ES does have an unfilled daily imbalance around equilibrium. So we could see ES
I'll pull that up in
retrace down to equilibrium roughly, trade into that daily gap before the higher time frame continuation, because it is only Wednesday. So we still have time for the rest of the week to see higher. So we could just get a short-term retracement to equilibrium and then continue the expansion, but we'll see. NQ still holding the 4-hour gap, but it is starting to encroach on that quite a bit.
When we take a high, we can look at ES because ES took the high, most recent. When we take a high, there's about 3 things that can happen. Actually, there is only 3 things that can happen. You can consolidate at the high, right? You can reject the high and begin retracing. Sorry, there's 4 things. Technically, there's 4 things. Or you can continue through the high and keep expanding. So with the rejection or retracement, you can use the structure on the left and how you've arrived to the high to determine if you're going to retrace. And in that case, you target levels around equilibrium. In this case, we have the equilibrium, the daily gap, and some lows right here. Or, you know, if the structure to the left had led you to believe that you were more bearish off the high, then you'd expect the reversal and you trade down to the low. So having ES and NQ taking that high, it's totally understandable for them both now to drop into equilibrium. Like he said, we're still midway through the week. We can drop down, get a good retracement, and then continue higher.
Yeah, and still respect the weekly range, because Monday did just open up and straight expand. So that's the other thing you could actually look out for is that the weekly low, the current weekly low in YM is relatively close. So if NQ and ES get a retracement, YM could possibly take the low of the week, and then we'd have a SMT at the low of the week, which could offer really good opportunity for the rest of the week to see higher, actually.
What am I going to say here? Since we opened up the week on YM, we had the rally. We had the same rally that NQ had, but then instead of continuing higher, we actually had the reversal and dumped quite a bit compared to NQ still rallying there. So YM is discorrelated from NQ. Was discorrelated. Now it's kind of paired back up. They're both in a consolidation right now. one thing I want to look at is, since I think we're both going to agree on this, ES is weaker than NQ. That's an obvious. So if we were to get the retracement to the weekly range equilibrium on ES, I would not want NQ to take this low here. I'd want NQ to stay more bullish because it's the more bullish asset. That's why today I was slightly leaning to see it longs or to have a bullish bias. Right now I'm very neutral, and when I have a neutral bias, I don't trade as confidently. So I'm waiting here for the one-sided bias. We can get the really good trade. But even just looking at the hourly here with the change in state, right here, it's going to be dotted for now. With that change in state, rejecting it pretty much perfectly. To see us go lower, kind of adhering to ES's structure here, right? For our bearish change in state inversion, looks really bearish. There's lows within relative proximity. Pretty much makes sense to drop lower before going higher. And we've got that second release coming out in 9 minutes, and that's kind of going to give us.
Well, and the other thing is when you see expansion throughout multiple sessions, you typically get a retracement. So like we had,
or this.
What was it? I guess it's all week, but if you go lower time frame since yesterday at basically New York session yesterday.
Yes, the long we caught. Yes.
New York session expands higher. London session expands higher. Asia session and pre-market today. Wait, no, not pre-market. Yeah, no, pre-market. London
session.
And then
London session put the high.
So we expanded for like 3 or 4 sessions. So then today, going into that, you could expect some sort of retracement.
Precisely. Also, Wednesday's a good day to retrace. Retrace the equilibrium on the middle of the week, the hump of the week. So just looking at this right now, I know I'm super zoomed out. I'm on the 1 minute. I sit on the 1 minute quite a bit. Seeing us drop lower here on NQ, it's going to take out this low that we already had the SMT in, that we put during lunch session. That would bring CS, but that would bring YM down. Hold on. That'd bring YM down to these relative equal lows that left. Get us kind of clear out this consolidation we're in, right? It's really exaggerated on the 1 minute here, but that is, if you were to highlight that, you would just see within this range how much overlapping price action we have. So having that drop lower, taking out those lows, you're going to call out your manipulation here. So maybe you like the idea of an AMD here. Oops. Right, we could have something like this. This is YM, so it could see that probably taking out that low of the week and then getting a higher time frame expansion. Now that sets us up for the rest of the week, and that's kind of what I want to see. In terms of the actual Fed announcement, they didn't cut rates. They kept them where they were. And I think people were kind of expecting that. Or actually, they're kind of expecting them to cut the rates. We had the rally the last few days. Maybe you could attribute that to the anticipation of them cutting the rates. But since they didn't, a neutral market, that's what people are looking at. They didn't cut them because they hadn't seen much of an impact from the last 3 rate cuts that they had. So when we trade FOMCs, we do not trade between the 2 p.m. New York time and the 2:30 window. We wait till 2:30 is done. Then from there,
Yeah, so Powell's going to be answering questions for a bit here.
Well, 7.
I'm going to pull that up, actually.
I usually don't like listening to Powell.
I just want to know when he's done. That's all
when
I care
he's done.
about.
That is what I would want to know, too. Oh, right, yeah. He starts speaking at 2:30. Yeah, that's the thing.
I think he usually speaks for about a half hour. Maybe not quite. So we'll see.
Every FOMC, I don't usually...
Wasn't he supposed to get fired?
No, not yet. Trump wants to. He wants to fire him. It's not happening yet. So pretty much until we clear out this range, we're in nothing. Nothing right now. Gotta stop using those dotted lines. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, YM's been in that nasty consolidation all morning. So wait and see what we do from there. And I wouldn't look for longs currently where we're at, just because of the failure swings at the lows. I wouldn't feel comfortable longing against that.
Well, we'd have to do some miraculous work on ES here. I mean, what you could look at is like, okay, hourly, you have 3 hourly candles here. The down candle, this somewhat of a doji, and then this inside candle. This candle opens, right? This is 2. This is when the release came out. Fails to take out this internal high. Drops down. Forms internal range SMT. So, how I'm going to look at that is if we were to get on NQ above this hourly imbalance, and if we were to displace on ES, there'd be the potential for longs. But like we were saying, just where we're sitting in the market and the slight discorrelation between YM and NQ here, very neutral bias. I should put up the low though, that if we were to drop lower, I'd want to see. So I'm watching this very attentively. Oh, you're watching it on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take a quick peek at gold. See what gold's been up to.
I'm not switching assets.
Gold's just on a tear right now.
Since
well, it's pretty steady since like October, but like recently up, like yeah, like a couple days ago, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, up 20%.
Yeah, 20%.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that high.
Well, that's only the past like week. Since October, it's up like almost 40%, 37%.
So gold's outperforming.
Silver's up way more though.
Gold's outperforming Bitcoin. Real assets are outperforming Bitcoin this year.
Since the new year, silver's up 70%, 66%. Is Powell usually on time or is it Trump? Which one's
Powell's on time.
Powell's on time. Trump's
Powell's
late.
Fucking Powell's to a T.
We'll see. We got.
This is like us on our T with our T10.
Yeah, last second, hey.
But then right there, right into it. Now, I don't think actually owning physical silver is good on a short-term basis. Like if you bought physical silver and were trying to capitalize on the rally, the 70% rally, I don't think you could turn it over in 3 months and 4 months and sell it for a 70% gain. You would not be able to get the market price because actual buyers, why would they want to buy such a premium? Here we go. Here we go. That move lower we were talking about. Here we go.
There's a lot of earnings today.
I did say there was a lot of earnings.
1,300 different. Well, there's earnings every day, but there's a lot today.
But it would be the bit heavier ones, right? There's some heavier ones.
Let's see. Oh, is this? I didn't even know you filtered these out. There's so many. AT&T. It's not like a crazy.
NASDAQ earnings.
Oh, it's all alphabetical. For sure, Meta is
Microsoft, Meta, Tesla,
yeah,
IBM. Those are the big
Powell's
ones.
out.
Those are the big ones. Powell's fucking right on. He's on that.
He's ripping it.
He's on that. So, again, vary both ways in the bias here. Just going to use internal structure. If I'm being honest, I want to see NQ run to these relative equal highs and take up London high, which is also the current weekly high. But on ES, I want the retracement lower. So,
there actually could be a decent short if ES trades into this hourly gap, yes, and NQ manages to stay below it.
Well, part of my bias is based off of NQ looking good for longs if we get through there. So we'll see once we get up into that. Like I talked about, the hourly S&T here looks good for a potential reversal, but we have ES hesitating above this internal high here, which would be way better to take. It would then have the S&T here. So I'm saying don't long until there, and I'm not ever telling anybody to long, but they're not valid until that. Shorts are valid, especially with this S&T that we just put in. Especially with that. Wow, that's something. Isn't that something, that S&T right there? It's a good one. It is a shift. You know, you can tell because NQ right before was more bullish, having this bullish S&T, the bullish end of the S&T. Now we've switched. Now we're holding and we're weaker, right? Yes, taking that internal high. Back and forth.
YM just fell short of its what high is this?
You can be
like morning AM session high.
You'll be doing all of the YM callouts. You'll be doing all the YM callouts because I don't have it up all the time. We got how far? 34 points. Mine says 34 points away to that low.
To the low.
What were you talking about? Oh, the high.
To the high.
Oh yeah.
YM just fell short of the high.
It did just fall short. I don't even have that high marked out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's putting in a freaking big down candle here. So again, we're waiting for this consolidation to clear up. YM getting a massive downside inversion, bearish inversion here. We had that bullish gap failed to take the high out. Boom, dumps. Inverse right there. Not in execution. Get back to ES here. So usually after we have an expansion like this, say this down moves an expansion, and you're getting a consolidation, you've got SMTs at both ends of the range, you know that you're not in the best conditions.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna sit on the 15-minute chart. Let this clear up a little.
We haven't moved in the last like 6 minutes. Come on, let's get that sell off. Yes. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know how long Powell usually speaks for.
When he's done speaking, he's just asking or answering questions. Like he's done his like little spiel though. There's a lot of people with their hands up though, wanting to ask a question, so I'll be here for a while.
You think he just cuts them off and be like, "No more questions." What are they asking for questions? Like, are they intelligent questions, or is he like,
Well, he just
"What'd you have for
literally
breakfast?"
just asked about the dollar, and then he's like, "I don't talk about that." Next question.
He said, "I will talk about that."
He said, "I won't talk about that." Next question.
That's what he said.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't talk about the U.S. dollar. Huh.
What moves it?
What do you know? I'm gonna give this thing another 15 minutes, and that's it. I will not watch past 3 p.m. I've got a very, I don't really like FOMCs. They're slow for me. But it's funny. When I don't trade them, then there's a good FOMC trade. But again, just to restate it, we get going lower. That's playing into my bias here. This SMT is beautiful. We just got to get out of this consolidation. It's really bad. And for longs, we need to displace through there. We explained it right at the beginning of the live stream here, how the higher time frame bias conflicts. It's not very clear. The last 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, very clear bullish bias. All of them. Everything was just up. Easy to read. Now, after taking the high, and ES also taking the high, this high, ES looks more bearish, right?
Honestly, I think the best trade opportunity for me would be if we trade into that hourly gap on NQ and then get a reversal out of there. And then basically just trade it down to ES's relative equal lows and YM's relative equal lows.
What about the SMT?
On
The internal SMT we have.
on the 5 minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that because there's the hourly gap right above us and YM just put in like relative equal highs. So I'd rather go off the higher time frame. If it was aligned with like the hourly gap, then yeah, I'd look at it, but it's not. So I'm not counting it.
YM looks so much weirder. I hate it. Some days it's super clean, but just right now it's just like it managed to put relative equal highs in, and then take the equal lows out.
I mean, this is super characteristic of a FOMC though. You just generate a bunch of liquidity, leave a bunch of failure swings on both sides.
Usually FOMC takes it out, though. It doesn't continue to consolidate.
Yeah. Well, he's still yapping, so I'll give him a bit here.
This is one of the less volatile FOMCs I've seen. Just in that first release, they're only 80 points.
Yeah, some people are talking about full porting evals on this, but I don't know what you're really full porting on. There's not much movement.
You're pretty much gambling on it being a volatile FOMC, which it rarely is, and it does not come out. Like a CPI comes out, it literally opens and generally does this. Opens and dumps or opens and pumps. FOMC, or even sometimes NFP, has that. Now, if you're trading with a buy stop here and a sell stop there, and you're trying to get, you might get tapped in longs and then it reverses. So that's why, I would not recommend doing that eval full port on FOMC. CPI, fine. NFP, NFP's kind of fine. NFP's fine sometimes. So CPI is, I think, the most reliable. I've never done it. Graydon's done it. Holy crap. What did I just open? Oh. Oh.
We have like not moved at all, eh?
No. In fact, we're at the same price level we were at 11:30 this morning.
This guy's asking a question about tariffs.
Here we go. I do not associate with Trump. That's what he's going to say. Share, please.
This guy asked on what the process is going to look like once he gets kicked out of his position, basically. And he said, I don't know. I'll have to find out. That's funny.
Is that really what he's talking about?
Well, like, and right before that, he's agreeing with everything. Like, he's like, about the tariffs. He's agreeing with the tariffs and how it's a good thing. And then right after, the same guy asks him his thoughts on when he gets kicked out of his position.
No. What a snooze fest, man. Oh.
Okay, it looks like Enki might finally get into this hourly gap.
Oh, yeah. It's such a small hourly gap.
Then we should get a good reaction of it right away if we're going to hold it. Okay, we're only like 2 points away. Should be able to get into it.
That's 2 points. That looks like a tick to me.
Now it's 1 point, yeah. Didn't do it. So basically, if we trade into that hourly gap and then get really good displacement off of that right away, I'd probably take a short down to, I guess, low a day.
Your mind got one tick away from it.
Yeah. That's it got really close.
30 minutes to the inverse. Holy shit. What a terrible.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd probably wait till 11 o'clock. Or not 11 o'clock. I'm so used to saying 11. What is it, 3 o'clock? Probably wait till 3 o'clock for the new hourly candle to open before taking anything. Because this hourly candle kind of wicked around both sides. Has large wicks.
Yeah.
Doesn't really support expansion.
Say. Yeah. We are trading into an hourly change in state. Like to point that out. Holding the 4-hour bullish gap, but does that really matter when you're not flipping bullish? No. Especially when the other assets are bearish. So, looking at ES here, 4-hour bearish change in state, we are still within that level. ES trading to the hourly.
So
tap that hourly fair value gap, and we'll see what we can do.
well, I am still the more bearish of them all. Like, well, I don't know. It hasn't moved. Its highs are in different spots. Well, I'm left the relative equal highs, but NQ, if NQ manipulates into that hourly, then I'm not really worried about it. Okay, we traded to the hourly there. So now we have a gap fill SMT, which is just a SMT with the fair value gap. So we'll see if we get,
Oh, you say gap fill SMT?
I don't know, it's just what it's called.
Well, wouldn't it have to fill the gap?
Oops. Let's see if we get a reaction out of here. So if we get a, let's see, 8 minutes till the new hourly candle opens. I'd watch that 5-minute gap that we're going to form here in 2 minutes as a potential inversion. Oh, is it done? Oh, no. Okay, so we formed the 5-minute gap. I'd watch that potential inversion off of the hourly gap. See if ES and YM can start to flush through that. If we start to sell off, YM is going to be the one that's reaching the objectives first. So I would watch out for, what is that, previous day's low? Previous day's low and then low of the week are my two objectives for the Dow, if we can get down there. Four minutes till the hourly opens. We might get to the 5-minute before the new hourly candle opens.
If we get displacement, yeah.
YM has filled the gap, so we'll see what the close looks like. Good reaction so far off the hourly. I mean, ideal trade for me would be inverse 5-minute before 3, and
Short,
then see
short right there.
and then C3 open slightly higher into the inversion, and get a continuation order block off of that, and get the 3-minute change in state. That would probably be my entry.
If we can fail to get this 15-minute change in state, that'd be nice. Fail to get that 15-minute change in state, because I'm not fully convinced that we're going to dump yet from here. I don't know. My bias higher time frame is conflicting. Holding that 5-minute gap. Crack him right in the mic.
So it looks like YM's going to inverse that 5-minute. It has a small 5-minute though, so I'm not really putting that much weight on it, but good start. And Q has a chance to do it.
What?
Might do it.
Shaka.
Yeah, I got it. All right. So now, if we trade up into the 5-minute inversion and then get the 3-minute change in state, that's going to be my short. So that's 3 o'clock open. That inverse did not do anything. Basically just waiting for this hourly candle to have the wick kit put in. I don't want to see too much higher though because ES is at its midpoint of the wick. Same with NQ actually. Maybe we can get a strength switch at this high in the hourly gap. See YM or ES take that high. If we're gonna continue from where we're at.
Well, that's all I need to see. That's it for me. I'm not going to trade. It's that 5-minute failed, so I think that was the chance it had to go lower there, and we're right back in the range now, just in that consolidation.
Yeah, the last chance I'm going to give it is if we get a strength switch at the highs to see ES or YM manipulate the high that NQ put in that hourly gap, and then from there get the 3-minute or 5-minute change in state. Because all of them are disrespecting that 5-minute inversion, so now it's going to, or I'd expect it to go back to the range high. Oh, we got somebody in the chat. Chat. Straight to stop loss. Did not take that trade. We're waiting. Yeah, I think you're the only watcher. I have it up on my phone, so I can see the chat because I don't have enough screens for the chat on a whole nother monitor. I was still going too. So it could just consolidate a little bit more until he's done. Then get the move after. Pretty sure that's how it works. Usually. No, usually it pumps, doesn't it? When he's talking.
No, he usually talks for the whole time.
I'll give us like another half hour if it's
I'm
or
done.
not even
I'm
like
done trading. I'm not.
not taking anything.
No.
Yeah, I'll give or not half hour. I'll give it 25 minutes. I'll give it till 3:30. And if we haven't got anything by then I'll just wait for tomorrow.
You're gonna. Really, there's when we get a trade during FOMC and it's a good trade, it's happened by now. These are horrible conditions.
Yeah, it just hasn't set up super ideal yet. Yeah, it doesn't look ideal. Ideally, we would have held that 5-minute version and just
Holy ideal.
displaced.
Hasn't set up ideal.
Ideally. Okay, ES took that internal high, so we do have a strength switch. So now, if we get the 3-minute change in state / 5-minute change in state, I would probably take a short there. What's the size on this? That's not bad. 1.3R if we get the 3-minute change in state to the low of day. Wouldn't really hold it much further than that if we get it. So we'll see. That is the last resort though for this trade. So if we don't get displacement right here, lower, then I won't be taking anything. So if YM and ES just start displacing higher and ES ends up trading to the hourly gap, I would just cut it there. I do like the strength switch though, which is good for NQ because it higher time frame is the
More bullish one.
well,
More
sorry,
bullish.
not like higher time frame, but higher time frame. Like on the hourly, it's more bullish, but on like the daily, it's not because ES is at all-time highs, and NQ is not quite.
More recently, more bullish.
Yeah. I do want to see ES start getting displacement though, because it has put in a few somewhat relative equal highs. So I wouldn't want to see NQ get the displacement and ES be just consolidating.
Well, if you don't want to see consolidation, you should shut the chart off. It's so bad.
Yeah, I'll give it like 10 minutes. If this 50-minute candle and the next 50-minute candle don't start reversing, then yeah, I'm just gonna shut it off. Like even that move right there on ES and YM, it does not look good. I mean, ES might just take that previous hourly candle high. Still would have the strength switch, but with a lot deeper of a retracement. Yeah, it's just gonna take the high. Don't think we'll get anything here. Okay, so NQ just took that internal high inside the hourly. We still have SMT with the previous hourly candle high with YM, but there's no strength switch. Beeps and dings and water and been live the whole time. So we closed the door. Is it just me or does it like also like ring really like echoey? No, I'm fucking the notification. Does it not?
No, I was wondering if you were listening to it.
No. No. But doesn't it sound like
Yeah.
it just rattles and rings and echoes throughout the room?
I think that's the point of it. I'm good to end it. Unless you want to just wait for this little inversion to play out here and see if that's gonna give us head up.
Well, we still, yeah. I'd have to see if I'm gonna take anything. I'd want to see the I want to see the 5 minute get re-inversed with that 5 minute breaker.
Okay, we'll stay for that. We'll stay for that.
But I'm not gonna give it a ton of time. Like if we start consolidating around here, just shut it down.
Pretty much like you could give it like look at the 3 minute, right? You know, if we're getting this 3 minute close with that change in state on the 3 minute basis, 3 minute breaker.
Yeah.
The most recent up move, then you could stay on.
The main thing I just want to see displacement. I want to see us start forming some gaps.
Okay. Not like that then.
If we take the internal high one more time, I'd probably just shut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still want to give it a shot though. Like, just give it some time because ES does look good. If it can start to flip. 2-stage SMT at the highs, relative equal lows, unfilled daily imbalance.
Conflicting ass biases on the higher time frame that make no sense.
Well, I would say, I mean, I'm still bullish. I just think with all the
I'm bullish, but I want to see it go lower. So
yeah,
it's
just
like
to the
internally conflicting. That's why I'm trading in a very bad spot right now in the consolidation between both biases. For me to be bullish, I need it to drop lower. For me to be bearish, I need it to drop lower.
well, yeah, because off the all-time highs on ES, we got a strength switch and then got that 4-hour change in state. So it should.
When you're saying strength switch, you're talking about one asset that was once more bullish now being more bearish, and there's an S&T.
Yeah.
With one that was more bullish or bearish before.
Yeah, like they flip strengths. Because ES was the most bullish, took all-time highs, and then ended up putting in a lower high while the other asset put in a higher high. And then got the change in state. So now that should be, you would think it would be the catalyst to get the retracement.
The strength switch is also
to equilibrium.
a term people refer to the breaker as, or like having a strength switch, like a confirmation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Never seen that before.
I'm surprised yet.
Like
a structure shift, a strength shift. Like if you're bearish and then you
structure shift, yeah.
But strength switch. Inter-asset correlation is not something that people have talked about for a while. It's kind of new. Between ES and QYM. That strength. The relativity. You want to end it?
Yeah, we could, because usually when we end it, it actually starts moving and get the trade.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick. Okay, so what I would take is if we get displacement lower and get the 5-minute change in state and re-inverse that 5-minute, I would potentially take a continuation short off of that to the low a day.
Below the low day, right? You're taking that 5-minute change and say it's only a negative R to that low day.
No, like I'd wait for internal, like get the 5-minute change state and then wait for
like that
continuation signature out of it.
Something like that.
Yeah. That's the only thing I would take.
3-point stop loss. Yeah, I see what you mean. Just the
I would just take it till ES takes those relative equal lows.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, won't be taking any longs because of the failure swings. So yeah, we can edit. It might not do anything.
All right, was a pretty boring FOMC. Wish it could have been a bit more entertaining.
Oh, I just realized Powell is done speaking.
Well,
He just finished, I think.
doesn't help the fact that it's not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
So we will catch you guys another time. We'll update the Twitters on when we're live streaming next.
And if I take a trade, it will be posted on